Alright, so I just wanted to give a quick demo of the project that I created for this last sprint. The language that I chose to learn for this sprint was Java, just because it's a widely used language and is implemented in a lot of real-world scenarios, and I just figured that it would be a good language to kind of learn a little bit about and get a little familiar with, just to kind of round out my programming skills. So I created was a just a basic expense tracker, like you could use to track income or bank statements, things like that. So I'll kind of go through some of my code here. So these classes here in red are all Java files, as opposed to these blue class files, which I'll explain in just a minute. So this one here is just sort of the basic class for how the expense lines up. So here we've got a string for date, a string for description, and a double for amount. It's like the amount of the expense. So the way that it lines it up is it'll string this together for the date of the expense, description of what the expense was, and then the amount of money in the expense, and returns that as a string. And it gets all of that data from inputs from, I think this one. Yes. Or no, it gets it from this one here. So this is expense tracker, which is like the main class that sort of runs the program. But essentially what it does is it takes, it prints out these this menu. You can choose to either add an expense, view an expense that you've already added, or exit, like close the program. So it will, depending on which one you choose, if you choose to add an expense, it'll give you these inputs. You have to input the date of the expense, a description of what it is, and the amount. And then it'll save it for you. And then you can select two and view the expenses that you've already put in. If you don't put in one of these, it'll throw this invalid choice little message. You can use number 3 to exit the program. It'll throw this little goodbye message. So basically, based on the data that you give it here, it'll insert it into this expense class here, and then this expense storage class is all of the code to store all of the user input. So all the expenses that you've put in can be recalled later from local storage from this code here. So what these class files are here, as you can see, there's a bunch of stuff that is like not shown in the other ones. So the way that Java works is it's a compiled language, and it runs on the JVM, which is the Java Virtual Machine, which allows it to be written once and run anywhere. So basically any machine that has the Java Virtual Machine can run this code, rather than having to code it specifically for a specific machine or environment. When you compile your Java code, it compiles it into what's called bytecode, and then the Java Virtual Machine reads the bytecode and will interpret it for whatever machine that the JVM is installed on. So that's what I've done here. It'll compile it into these little .class files, and then that's what the JVM reads. So I will demonstrate that here. So I've already compiled all of this, but I'll do it again just to demonstrate. So I'm going to, from my terminal here, I'm going to type Java C, which is like Java compile, and then do the folder expense tracker slash and then asterisk dot Java, which just means that like asterisk just means everything, so everything that has a .java extension will be compiled all at the same time. So then I'll run that. And of course, you know, it didn't do anything just because these are already all compiled, but if I had made edits or changes, then it would show what was compiled. So now that we have the compilation, we're going to type Java expense tracker dot expense tracker. So from this expense tracker folder, it's calling this program, which is like the main program that runs everything. So we'll click that, and then down here we see our menu. So we can, I'm going to go ahead and just select two. I'm going to view some expenses that I've already put in. So you can see right here, there's two little expenses, one for groceries, $150 on today's date, and then again on today's date, bills, $500. Those are not actual expenses, those are just dummy ones that I made up. But I'll go ahead and select one, and we'll add a new expense. So we'll just put it on today's date, 2025, 11/29. Enter description, just say entertainment. Maybe if you had like entertainment expense for the month of just like fun stuff that you did. And that I'll just put 200, meaning $200. And there you go. So then when we view our expenses again, it'll show that list as before, but now it'll show the new expense that we've just put in. So then if we want to exit, click 3, and it says goodbye. So yeah, that's essentially how it works. I really enjoyed working with Java. I thought it was really interesting, and I'm excited to learn more about it and work with it some more. Awesome, thanks.